Happy Sunday and welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren and I am so glad that we are able to hang out for a little bit this Sunday afternoon while I get a few bits and pieces prepared that will hopefully make the coming week a whole lot smoother, calmer, and stress-free for me. We've got a really busy week coming up for both myself and my husband Heath. So I am really glad that we are able to get a few bits and pieces prepared so that most importantly, I can eat really quickly when I get home because I get real cranky when I am hungry. So I am so stoked that we're able to do this afternoon. We are going to be preparing a beef ragu that we are going to be serving with carbohydrates. I mean, fettuccine, like actual pasta, not just zucchini noodles,
Not
which
zucchini
I'm
noodles.
a little bit excited about, as you might be able to
Fantastic.
tell. And this is my amazing sous chef slash
Hello,
husband,
everybody.
Heath.
Yes.
And you know what? I know that we've got a few bits and pieces to get prepared for the ragu, but I
Mm,
think most importantly, we need to have a drink in hand for this. So
okay.
I am going to create a cocktail. I have no idea if it's going to taste any good or not. And it's just going to be using up a few leftover bits and pieces that we have
I
from
can
a.
see bacon on the table.
Okay, not that. Although I think was it with you that we
Like some sort of smoky thing. That would work, but
I'm sure we asked ChatGPT to come up
oh,
with
a good
a good
cocktail.
cocktail, like
Yeah.
something a bit different. And I
Yeah.
think there was like a maple bacon smoked.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no, there was a smoke step where you
Oh,
lit
smoke step.
something
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then shut it into the thing and captured the
My
smoke.
brain went
Mm.
smoke. Bacon. I'm such a simple woman.
Oh
So
dear.
we had a really cool dinner last night to celebrate my amazing mother, and she had picked the menu, and there are a few different bits and pieces in there which were really fun to create. But one of the items that my mother had requested were sangria cupcakes. Actually, should I grab a? I'll grab
Yeah,
a
grab a
cupcake.
cupcake. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I don't think she'd ever tried sangria cupcakes before,
But
but
that's because
that was
nobody
because
has
no
ever
one,
tried a
no.
sangria cupcake before.
Um, and so we made cupcakes that had like apple and blueberry in the mix, and then we made a
Look at
red
that.
wine buttercream to go on
Yeah.
top. So the buttercream itself has got like a red wine reduction in there, which was very delicious, um, and contained a lot of butter. But we had leftover red wine reduction, which was just made by getting a couple of cups of red wine, quarter a cup of white sugar, and then just simmering it for like half an hour until it had reduced to this really delicious concentrated red wine flavor. And that I've still got some left over. And I thought it would be great to use as the base for a cocktail. So, I'm going to, as I said, completely make this up on the fly. So I
Yep.
pop some ice in a shaker.
Can I assume that you will not be putting soda water into the shaker like I did last week?
Correct.
Hey,
You know,
nice.
I am,
So,
but standing on the shoulders of giants.
so you've got some gin there?
So I got some gin.
Uh-huh.
So because it's going to serve two, I will do, I'll plan to do 60 ml. Oh, I'll just use the rest of the wee bottle. So I realized that I really love supporting like local boutique distilleries. A lot apparently it would seem. So I have realized that I have got like a lot of gin kicking around at the moment in the cupboard. So good opportunity to, use things up. So that was a little bit shy. No, I won't mix my gins. It'll be fine. All right, so a bit of gin, and then I'll use up the rest of this beautiful red wine syrup production. And as with so many of these things that we create, could be good, could be terrible, who knows? But it's just the two of us. So if it's really that bad, we can just have a glass of wine. It's not actually the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's that. And I was thinking some bitters.
Cool. Why not?
Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 shakes of bitters. Wee bit of lemon juice.
Give it a good shake.
Oh, actually.
Love that sound. Oh.
No, it's fine. Cool.
Is mint appropriate? Probably
That's what
not.
I was just thinking.
You were thinking a little bit of mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we've got that here. The mint tree, it's a little bit off, but should be fine.
That's all right.
Not in an off way.
Off Broadway kind of way. And then we'll add a couple of dried citrus garnish.
So is this going in here?
Yes.
Okay. There we are.
Perfection.
Very good. We'll see how this goes. Oh, it's very rich. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have soda water in it yet, of course. Because why would you put soda water in your shaker? That makes no sense. You don't want to be shaking that up, do you?
No.
No.
I didn't reference it at all. That was
No, I keep bringing it up because
You're
it
the one
was
who keeps
it
bringing
was
it
a
up.
silly thing to do last week that I did. So yes.
I just did not have any idea. And then I'm going to top it up with a wee bit of sparkling water of
Oh, wow.
Prosecco, just because
Okay,
we've got a little bit there.
Gin, Prosecco,
Yeah.
soda water. All right. Good. Yeah. Yes. So last night we got to celebrate a little bit with your mum. And so we had a Prosecco and we actually had a sparkling red, didn't we? A sparkling
We did
Shiraz.
a sparkling Shiraz, which is lovely.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then top it up with a little bit of
I
soda
haven't had
water.
too many sparkling Shirazes before.
No, I actually really enjoyed it. It's so refreshing. So,
This
bottoms up. We'll see how we
looks
go.
pretty good.
Oh,
that is very, very good.
that is very, very good.
I wish I could show you.
Hang on.
Yeah, you hold it there.
Let me close the bin.
It is worth. Oh, sorry, everybody. Sorry, we've left the screen, and I'm working on it. There we go.
It's so good. It's so good.
It does. It looks great and tastes wonderful.
So good. All right. Now that the important things are out of the way, we will get crack-a-lacking on the Ragu. Yeah. So we had every intention of using some of the leftover lamb from last night for the Ragu.
Yes.
But I pulled the...
We ended up with a smaller amount of lamb, didn't we, than we planned. So
which is fine. Yeah. So we just, we do what we need to do. And we just pull out a beef topside roast and slice it up and use it. And said, actually, did you want to grab the topside out?
I can do that. Yep.
To get slicing.
Start slicing that up. Yep. So it's 1.2 kilos. About this big.
About 1.2 kilos big.
About 1.2 kilos big, yes.
And we are going to be cooking this one in the Thermomix. So I had contemplated doing it in the slow cooker, but I just did not get my life sorted sufficiently to have it in the slow cooker.
No biggie.
Which is fine.
Yeah, no biggie at all.
So because we are going on holidays in a couple of weeks, so this is a bit of an opportunity for us to start clearing the decks a little bit with stuff that we've got in the fridge and pantry. Which is great. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Did you just nick my chopping board?
No, grabbed a freshie.
Oh, okay. I take back all the awful things that I was thinking. So we're going to add in some garlic. The recipe calls for 3 cloves, so I'll probably do 1,000.
Give
The
that a
other
little
thing
bit
that
of a
we
sharpen.
cooked, the other thing that we cooked last night for Mama's birthday extravaganza was our pumpkin sourdough waffles,
Yeah. Lauren's a bit
which are
famous for those ones.
a bit of a family favorite.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was such a trial that we had to have those for breakfast this morning as well because we had leftovers. Oh, it's
Ha-
awful.
How's something like that into cubes? Or would
Um,
you like?
about two cut into pieces, approximately 2 to 3 centimeter cubes.
Okay,
So
I'll
about
go a little
one
bit
inch
bigger.
cubes.
Yep. Oh, it's cutting really quite.
It's a beautiful piece of meat.
It is
It's
cutting
got some
quite nicely.
really nice
It
marbling.
does. It's why we bought it. We didn't have a need for it at the time, but it was a good price and it had good looking marbling, so we just grabbed it and froze it.
Yeah, and that is sort of the benefit, I guess, of having a freezer and having had a little bit more wriggle room in our food budget for that particular week. It just meant that we're able to take advantage of
Yeah.
there being that sale. So if you do come across stuff at the supermarket and if you have got uh, a week where you're not needing to buy as much, then there is value in buying that stuff
Mm.
when it comes on sale. But it is one of those things where it's only a good deal if you're actually going to use it.
Yeah. Now I am regretting the size of my chopping board. I should have gone a bigger
Yep.
one. And I know that you realized that well before I did. But that's okay.
All good.
I'm getting there.
So
Now, should
you
I
go.
cut these into something? Into a bowl? Into
Well,
a
I think in terms of
straight
you
into the
having no, not straight
Thermomix?
into the Thermomix. Maybe do you want to use the? Could we use the plate that it was defrosting on there?
I can give it a rinse.
Just sometimes you get a batch of garlic, which is just jolly hard to peel.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm being lazy. I should have just done my garlic peel trick.
Did I see somebody had like some sort of trick? It's one of those YouTube videos where they say, you've always done this wrong, like, and then they show you how to do it, and it's incredibly complex and ridiculous. I don't know if you've come across
I
those before.
haven't come across that before.
They're always a bit silly
Yeah.
when you get right down to it, but they're just trying to drum up interest.
Some may call that clickbait.
Yes, some might call it that.
That is such a good cocktail.
Anyway, I think that somebody was recommending that you can get your garlic out of its outer
the
skin by putting it in a garden hose. Does that ring any bells to you?
Oh, like I think I've seen one where
Pushing
you
it
put
through a
you
garden
put it
hose or something?
in like in a garlic hose, in a garden hose, and then like rub it.
Yeah, something like
But then I
that.
just sort of think like, is it just gonna taste like hose?
Yeah, exactly. And garden hose has a very distinctive sort of dirt
like
flavor,
the
doesn't it?
I don't know, like when you were desperate enough to drink out of the
hose
the
in the garden.
hose in the garden in summer.
Yep.
And it was such a
it wasn't a horrible flavor.
no, but it was very distinctive.
A distinctive flavor.
I wouldn't necessarily want it in, say, I don't know, my beef ragu. When we say like tastes like summer, I imagine like fresh tomatoes and basil bruschetta with a nice cold glass of rosé. I'm not envisioning garden hose, odor hose.
Dirt flavor.
It's probably just rubber.
Yeah, it probably is rubber.
Like heated rubber.
Yeah.
Anywho. So to the garlic, we are adding onion.
Cool. I just need to point out that this is a beautiful cut of meat.
Amazing.
Look at that. It's got some really good marbling through it. I'm sorry that you can't see it, guys. Just not quite close enough.
It truly has some amazing marbling.
It does look good.
No, we have been feasting like royalty this weekend.
We also have a very good Indian restaurant near us.
Such a good Indian restaurant near us. And I'd finished work late on Friday. And we normally grocery shop on Friday nights, and then we have dinner afterwards. And we decided to do something a little bit different, and we thought we'd have Indian for dinner on Friday night, and we'd ordered it so that we could pick it up after we grocery shopped.
Mm.
I ordered hungry. I ordered so much food.
Oh dear.
It was amazing, but because I was, yeah, I will say, like when I was sort of joking about the fact that, well, actually, no, I wasn't joking. When I said that it's really important for everybody that I can eat dinner as quickly as, like, as close to me getting home at the end of the day as I realistically can, it's because a hungry Lauren is not a nice Lauren. And my ability to maintain polite conversation and make decisions while we were grocery shopping on Friday night was not optimal.
The polite conversation was fine. The making decisions, nope.
No, no more decisions.
No more decisions for you that day.
I used that up when I got too much naan.
Yeah, you ordered so much naan. It was
ordered
great.
so much
No
naan.
complaints there whatsoever.
No.
Happy as with that decision. Okay, I've cut up some meat, and it looks tasty.
You've got like a sort of mountain
A
of cut up
mountain of beef.
beef, which looks spectacular.
Just
it
the
looks
right
quite
amount.
Extravagant. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, especially considering it's only
All
two
the
people
marbling.
eating this.
Yeah, I know.
But, yep. And it does look quite premium because it's marble.
Because it is premium.
Yeah. Exactly.
Adding in some celery.
Cutting up some celery.
Yeah.
So what's the goal for what are you blitzing all of this together?
Yeah.
And you're making a tomatoey sauce to go
Yeah,
with the
basically.
ragu?
I guess like the way like a ragu is kind of like a meat sauce for pasta, really.
Yep.
And part of the beauty of it is that it kind of slow cooks so that you've got like beautiful sort of fall apart pieces of meat, and it just feels a bit more premium because even though the flavor profile it's really similar to bolognese, but it doesn't have like it's not mint, so it just feels a bit fancier.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is good. So while I keep going on with this, are we wanting to? We've got veggie sticks that we can cut for Bible study. We've got bread to cut for Bible study.
I can get onto those for sure.
And then adding in more carrot, which is perfect.
All right. So what have we got in there?
We've got carrot, onion, celery, and garlic. So I guess like your fairly basic mirepoix, which is like that sort
mirepoix.
So a mirepoix.
Yeah, okay.
It's a French term.
For
some of those like base flavors that you have in a dish like this. So it's the stuff that you sort of use as the foundation of the dish, like your onion, celery, carrot that you then cook for a while, so it has this beautiful sweetness to it. Now, because I was going to do a different dish, I pulled out bacon. The recipe doesn't call for bacon, but I'm going to put bacon in too.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm now picturing like a beef and bacon pie.
You don't seem mad about it.
No, not mad. Not mad. Intrigued, I think. Certainly.
So, and again, like because we're cooking it for a while, the bacon won't be super obvious.
Yep.
It will just add a dimension of flavor. But I probably shouldn't have put the olive oil in. Oh well.
You shouldn't have?
Shouldn't have.
Why is that?
Just...
Tell me in a second.
What? Just because there would have been enough additional fat from the bacon to probably have like made up for the lack of olive oil. But
yeah, okay.
We live and we learn. I'll give that a squish down. And it can just cook away. That's a good looking loaf. So
It is.
our church has got access to bread, which would otherwise be thrown out at the end of the day from a bakery. So we have got the blessing that is getting. Oh, you and your tiny knife again.
Yeah. Nobody told me that I couldn't use the knife.
Oh my
I
gosh.
asked, will it
Who?
blunten? I asked last week, will it blunten this knife if I just keep on using it when I should be using a bread knife? No one said no, so I'm going for it.
So we have these friends in Toronto, Greg and Fanuza.
Yes.
And Fanuza has got like the biggest bread knife you have ever seen. It's amazing.
It's huge.
And Heath and I had to pop into Spotlight yesterday to get some the like piping nozzle to do the cupcake icing. And I didn't show you, but they
No.
had the enormous
They had a
bread
giant
slash cake knife.
bread
I
knife.
was so tempted, but honestly, like this,
It's enormous.
like
it wouldn't fit
this
in any
big.
cupboard.
And I didn't know where to store it, and
Yeah.
because it's a knife, so you'd need somewhere to like store it safely. And I also don't know if it would fit in our dishwasher,
Yeah.
and like it wouldn't fit
Right.
in the sink to like
See,
wash it.
we have a bit of a rule in this household.
Ah,
that
yeah.
The things need to contribute and/or fit in the run in the dishwasher.
Yeah, like I don't want your high maintenance hand wash.
No, hand wash only stuff does not belong in our household.
No, I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have time for that rot.
So yes, if it can't fit in the dishwasher,
No dice.
that's a no from me, dog.
Yeah. So it was good to have seen one like in the flesh, because I have like thought about ordering one since we caught up with Greg and Finusa in Toronto. But I think I've made the right call.
Made the right call.
Yeah.
Bit too complex for us. Coming up with a plan. Alrighty, bread is done.
Perfect. So with that, with the bread, we found a really great way to sort of use it. And look, there is so much bread, and like it's the kind of stuff that would just have otherwise been.
It would go to the bin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going to be disposed of, so
Yeah.
I asked
so
for covering it.
So we love to be able to. So we go really easy, and we just slice it up, and then serve it alongside our cheese board with our Bible study on a Sunday night, which is just perfect.
Yeah.
So I've also got some wee mushrooms that I'm just going to chop. Not a heap of mushrooms. We got some mushrooms in our fruit and veg box this week. So I'm just popping the mushrooms into quarters, and we'll add them with the mince when it comes time. So what does the nice machine want me to do now? Oh, we're going to add in our herbs. So this is already starting to smell really fragrant. Mostly of bacon. What's that bit that I was saying that it was going to be subtle? Oops. So now we're going to add in some fresh herbs. So we've got thyme, which is something I don't have this week.
Not a whole lot of time.
No.
That's okay though.
So we're doing this
We'll manage.
now.
Yep. We'll manage.
Beautiful. So one of the great things about having fresh herbs in our garden is just being able to add them to stuff like this. And fresh herbs just really can elevate a meal so much, and just take your ingredients from being a little bit ho-hum or a little bit ordinary to just being something which is truly delicious. So the recipe called to sage, our sage plant has not survived the heat of the last couple of weeks, so it will get replaced. But beef and oregano is a really classic pairing. So even though it'll be a different flavor to what the sage would be, I feel confident in my substitution. And that's the other thing that you have with your herbs and spices is when you kind of learn what goes together and what goes with what, really the sky's the limit. And some rosemary. Which is delicious. And I think we're going to add in some. Ooh, awesome.
What are
It
you
wants
thinking?
chili,
It wants
but we
chili?
got given in a fruit and veg box a couple of weeks ago
Ah,
some
the little
chili.
chilies. Yeah.
So I'm going to add in,
Okay, let me chop them up.
I think just one.
One. Do you want me to chop them up reasonably small because when you blitz, are you doing any blitzing?
I don't know.
No more blitzing?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't think so.
well, I'm gonna chop up a bit finer
Great.
again.
We popped in a couple of bay leaves and now some red wine.
I'm thinking about sampling this just to get an appreciation of how hot it is,
Okay.
but I may regret it if it's really, really hot.
Do you want me to get some milk at the ready?
Have here you guys.
We haven't died.
I haven't died, and
Pretty wussy?
I wouldn't be able to tell that wasn't a capsicum. So that is, there's no
Alright,
heat in that at all. There's no heat in that at all. Sorry?
Should we use both of them then?
Well, it doesn't have any heat.
All right, well, let's
So-
just use them both up then. If there's no heat,
No heat. It's heatless.
heathless.
No, heatless.
Oh, sorry. Heathless, you both are.
All right. You don't need that right now? Nope.
Just chuck it in the top.
Chuck it in the top. Maybe that one's... Tiny tingle on that one, so...
There we go.
All right. But really, very, very mild chilies, so...
Oh, this is the perfect thing to use them in because we don't need chili. It's
No.
just going to add some additional flavour.
Did you
Alright.
want any chili flakes?
No,
No? Okay.
because you will find that the chili flavour will increase as time goes on.
Mhm.
That smells really good.
Good stuff. That's what we want.
Did you want to
Good smelling.
grab the... so we do have some leftover roast lamb from last night that even though it wasn't enough to make the ragu out of, we will slice it up and use it for wraps for lunches for this week.
Yep, I can get onto that.
But I was thinking instead of using mustard, because I don't know if mustard and lamb are really...
It's not a common combo, is it?
No, so I was thinking maybe we use the beetroot relish. Oh, that's what else that I was gonna... there was just a couple of leftover roast veggies. So I'm
Just gonna toss them in?
Toss them in.
I like it. I like it. So some of the lamb's already cut up into larger
Bits.
slices, like this sort of size. Because this is for wraps, I guess I'll do a little bit of...
Take your trusty knife that you haven't blunted
Maybe.
with the bread.
Yeah. Do a little bit of lamb extension.
Ooh.
Sounds bad, doesn't it?
It's either like if lamb was a subject at school and you were doing extension work. Like, I'm doing lamb, but I'm doing advanced.
Advanced lamb.
Advanced lamb.
What? Make no sense. Yep, so almost every week we have wraps for lunches throughout the week. And that normally involves just preparing some form of cold cut
Mm-hmm.
whether it be ham or often corned beef.
Corned beef.
Yes, there it is. That's what I was trying to say.
Chicken?
I couldn't think of it. Occasionally
We
chicken.
haven't
Yeah,
done chicken in
I
ages,
haven't
but
done
that's
chicken in a
because
long time.
I I don't know. I find like the ham or something like that just more interesting.
Yeah,
So just adding the beef in now. Do, do, do.
but the lamb that we had last night was very
It's
good.
really good.
It was very tasty.
It has a
Don't want
boneless leg, which is a
any of
bit of a
that to
treat.
go to waste.
No.
So that is going to go into our wraps this week. And I'll portion them up into little baggies.
Yeah, so for us, we find that with a good amount of meat is 150 grams to set. So the two of us, that just seems to be like
Bit of a sweet spot.
a good amount for the wrap to not feel too stingy, but also to still be
Not going overboard.
wrappable.
Yeah, that is true. Still got to fit in the wrap. I tend to be a little bit more
Generous.
generous. Yep.
Ambitious.
Ambitious. That's the word that I was looking for. Yep.
So we add in our favorite veggie stock concentrate.
Mmm. Classic. That's getting kind of full. We're right up at the brim now, so yikes. Don't tell Liz.
That's why I said shh. Get me in trouble.
Yep.
So the problem with making cocktails with leftovers is that they're really hard to replicate. Anyway, and adding in tomato paste. The recipe calls for 50 grams, but I think these are 70 or 80.
So you're just going to go it?
Yeah. I can't figure out how much is in here.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of lamb. So we got two days.
Perfect.
And some leftovers here. I'm not sure how much this.
Is that like enough for an individual one?
Maybe. Pretty much bang on.
Okay. Well, do you want to maybe write on it?
That's a single. Yeah.
Just
I can
so,
figure
because
out.
otherwise, if I'd pull that out for the two of us,
There'll be some sad faces
Yeah.
at lunchtime. Wah, 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 wah.
do 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 do.
Thank you for finishing that off for me.
You are welcome.
All right.
Okay, maybe that is
Now,
going to be a bit
is it worth leaving one of these lambs
for tomorrow. Yeah.
for tomorrow? What about the others?
I think just because it's from
Just because it's.
Saturday night, I think we'll freeze
You want to
it
freeze it? Yep.
and then I'll pull them out. But that's
Sure.
perfect because we only had 2 corn meat left in the. Now, the recipe calls for 400 grams of crushed tomatoes, which I pulled a tin out for. But then I remembered that I have got that I had some tomatoes in the fridge, and I reckon that I will get really close to 400 grams worth of tomatoes in there. So I'm just going to chop these up instead of the crushed tomatoes, and I'll just add a little bit of cooking time to it because we're using fresh instead of the canned. But they're quite large tomatoes. We weren't planning on eating salad this week, so it's a good way to make sure that they get used up without going to waste.
Alrighty. Single.
And ready to
Ready
mingle.
to mingle in a wrap at some point in time. That's a weird thing to talk about.
Well, I think
Okay.
you'll have lunch out on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, yeah, I probably will.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that'll work really well.
Yep, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna do what's important. That is
Yes,
have
you
a sip
are.
of my drink.
Now, I'm going to just let the stuff that's in there cook down a little bit because,
What's oh yeah, because you
well, I
got no.
can't fit this. So,
That is plentiful.
shh. I don't know what
Yes,
you're talking about.
plentiful
It's not at all.
is
It's fine. It's fine.
is
It's totally fine.
it's bold.
Yep. It's very
Bold
bold.
choice.
Very bold choice.
Mm.
I'm now going to act like I don't have that really full, and we'll give this an opportunity to cook for a little bit.
Great.
And then I will add the remaining bits and pieces. So I'll keep slicing up the tomato while that cooks down for a little bit. The other thing that I was going to add
On top of all the other things that you're
yes,
adding, yeah,
is
yeah.
from the pumpkin waffles that we'd made
I just need to.
yesterday.
I just need to show people this. This is
You
crazy.
need to show proof
Uh,
of why I can't claim
this is
anything under
evidence.
warranty
This
if
is this is evidence of
this
the
explodes.
craziness. It's not even moving.
It will
Look at
eventually.
this! Look at this! It's totally full. Right to the top. All right. Okay, we're covering it up. You never saw anything,
No, you
everybody.
didn't see
Never saw
anything.
anything at all. Okay.
Anyway,
Busted.
because
Busted.
because we made the pumpkin sourdough waffles yesterday, I'd had pumpkin puree that was left over from it. So
Mhm.
I've just have got
Oh,
like a little bit of pumpkin that I'll pop into the
cool.
really full Thermomix as well
When
when I
room
can.
permits.
But yeah, like
Okay.
we've got a few other bits and pieces that are really unexciting that we'll get prepped for the week, like coleslaw and slicing up some more bread. But I've got a little bit more cocktail to work my way through while the Thermomix does all of the magic. And I am really looking forward to having this delicious beef ragu this week. And I hope that you have also enjoyed an opportunity to do a few bits and pieces this afternoon to take the pressure off you for the week as well. Really looking forward to catching up with you next Sunday for Alongside Lauren.